Okay, I just came to me. I about the Queen of Sheba and King David. I realize now it's a convert. She was a convert. So yes, their children are Jews, because when Abraham was going through Canaan, and Sarah, and they had Isaac and Jacob, any Canaanite, or once Abraham got chosen, all the land that God brought him to inherit, anybody who converted to the one true God became a Jew. And all throughout, I mean, Abraham and Sarah themselves. Okay, I've explained this. So, okay, that's what I wanted to clarify, is that, yeah, they were like, say, if the mother is a Gentile and the father is a Jew and the babies aren't Jews, but if the mother converted, kind of like Jared Kushner and Ivana Trump, she's a Gentile, but he's a Jew, but she converted to Judaism. So now their babies are Jews. See? Okay, and then another thing, my subscriber, Rescue 56 or 57, I think I misunderstood what you said or maybe you misunderstood me. I figured it out last night and I forgot to mention it, or this morning. When I said in my video, they're playing both sides, and then you said, they're all in bed together, basically, is what you're saying. You said they're all the same thing. And I said, well, pray for your president. I don't care if they're really all the same thing. I don't care about that. But I think what you're saying, you might have misunderstood what I was saying. When I said they're playing both sides, what I meant by that is you have to choose a side. You cannot play both sides. That's why I don't listen to Channel 5 News or Channel 11 News, because they're far left. I listen to Channel 2 because they weren't. And then lately, they seem to be mishmash. Like, they'll say things like they might be left, and then they say, but Trump is good. I mean, stuff like that is what I meant. They're playing both sides. Just like in the interview last night, JD Vance might be trying to play two sides right now, or empathizing with the bad side. We do not play both sides. We have to pick one side. Okay? Choose God. Choose who he tells you to pray for. Your president. If he's a bad president, you still have to pray that even if JD Vance or Tucker became president, I'm going to pray for them. Plus that, they're Christians. They say they're Christians. If we don't agree, we don't agree. But they're saved. They're brethren. They're Jesus' mother, Jesus' father, Jesus' brethren, sister, brother. Jesus said, who are my mother, brother, sister, friend? I mean, who is my mother? Who is my father? Who is my brother? It is my disciples. That's who my family is. So if you are of the house of God, if you are a Christian, we're of the same household. I'm going to call you out if you're out of line, but I'm not going to slander you. I'm not going to call you a heretic. I'll say you might speak some heresy or you're being a fool, but I'm not going to, yeah, that's what I meant about playing both sides. Okay, I think you thought I was saying something about, like, that I didn't understand, that they're both in bed together and they're just acting like they're separate sides, because I've heard that conspiracy theory, but that's not what I meant. And I think I was going on with you about the wrong point. So, yeah, that's what I've been wanting to say. And that if I need to apologize because I misunderstood what you were saying and I thought you were wanting to teach me that they're all in bed together, and I believe in that conspiracy, and you might believe in that, and maybe that's what you were saying, but I don't subscribe to that theory that they're playing good cop bad cop. I don't subscribe to that. And if that's true, if that is a true conspiracy that's going on in the White House, that's none of my business. My business is about the Father's business. And the Father said, pray for your president. And it's like tithing. You might say, well, I'm not going to tithe to them because they might be spending it on booze, drugs, and rock and roll and debauchery. That's none of your business. God says, give to the poor. Oh, I don't want them spending it on drugs and alcohol. That's none of your business, because Jesus didn't say give only to the poor who aren't drug addicts or alcoholics. He didn't say pray for only the presidents who aren't playing good cop, bad cop. He didn't say tithe to only the churches who are pristine in their money, because you cannot micromanage those things. If it is proven that they are a church that is mismanaging money and they're being bad Christians, then yes, don't tithe. But you're supposed to tithe and support the churches that are teaching the Word of God, feeding you, feeding the world correctly, and they are, you feed those churches with your money, the tithe, because so that they can spread the gospel, because that's what Paul said. You support the men of God, especially the men, especially the brethren of God, the men of God, especially the men of God you support above even the non-believers, okay? Because we do have to support the non-believers as well. But he says especially of those of the faith. And I hope that's all. Okay. All right, part 3. Here we go. Bye.